Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Automation Empire. We're going to go ahead and collect up our science here, and if my calculations were correct, yeah, we're going to hit 5 million, which actually, we're going to go a little over 5 million, which is actually more than we need to unlock our rocket. Launch freight rockets filled with crates to sell your resources in the galactic market. Due to high off-world demand, resources sold by the rockets grant a weight revenue bonus of 45%. All right, that should be helpful, but not too helpful because we actually are very, very close to our goal right now. I guess we had a lucky month with trains or something because I don't think we're anywhere near that right now. No, we're at 15, which is not as great. So let's see what we can do to help that a little bit, other than just go in and start building rockets willy-nilly, which we're going to do. But we've got a ton of ethanol over here that's just kind of sitting. And we're sending some of it to the trains, and that's working out okay. We've just got a lot of it, and it really doesn't sell for a whole lot. And the weight's not that good, but it's better than nothing, right? So what I want to go ahead and do is just divert this train here. This is the train that is going out to our crate factory that we had that was doing iron back a long time ago. I want to repurpose this to do that. So yeah, that should do that. It'll cut off research, but I'm not entirely confident that we're going to need research for anything else. At least to get our goal. Granted, we could min-max it a little bit. More is always better, right? We've got a whole bunch of these that I never really bothered to research. Probably should have, but didn't. So, all right, there's our train right there. Let's pause real quick so we can go ahead and catch it. Because I put that little brake right there to prevent it from coming back. This can probably go away because I don't know that we're going to be in the grain trade anytime soon. And we'll probably have to adjust this right here to accommodate a larger train. And I mean, I guess we could probably raise this track in order to optimize things. I've kind of lost interest in doing those low-level optimizations because I'm not sure that they're really helping much. Granted, it probably would be above 30,000 kilograms right now if I cared about them a little bit more, but I already haven't done that already. All right, so that'll come through here. That'll start doing up the ethanol. We'll get that crated off and sold. That will help our goal. But we have rockets to deal with. And I spent some time just kind of looking around thinking, hey, what do we want to crate up? And I think with the bonus, it makes the most sense to crate up components. And we already have components being sold here and over there, and we could set up some kind of system to crate those and rocket those, but I also noticed that we had iron and we had gold over here that really wasn't doing anything. So I went ahead and created this factory right here and spared you the setup. It's nothing we haven't done a million times before. But this is going ahead and creating some components. We've got a full thing here ready to be shot into space. So let's go ahead. We'll roll the intro and see what we can do to get that stuff into orbit. All right, so let's take a look at this rocket. All right, that's a rocket. I concur. Okay, it looks like we've got pad contents, rocket contents. I'm guessing that this serves as kind of a buffer. Uses $1,000 of power per month. I'm not at all concerned. Power is something it's really not a thing at all when you compare to the tax costs. I mean, what's an extra 1,000 on top of 229? Yeah, it's just something I've stopped worrying about a long time ago. Kind of like some of the other things I've stopped worrying about. Efficiency, optimizations, things like that. We're just going to brute force this thing to the finish. Okay, so we need to feed that into a rocket. I think it said something about a loader via a loading station. Okay, and that is this guy, which we haven't really used a whole lot. So we basically need to get these components, crate them up, and get it on that rocket. Seems easy enough. Let's go ahead and pause it for now. And let's see. We need some crate makers. How many? Let's see. I think I want to get these just as close to down here as we can. Something like that right there. And maybe do like 3 of them. Okay, and then let's get this rocket. Let's see, a load station, and I want that just as close as that will go. Maybe 2 of them. And let's get our rocket. Will it fit right there next to the power station? Yes, it will. All right, so the craters are going to crate, and the rocket and the loaders are going to load, or the unloaders are going to unload, the loaders are going to load, and I think we need to go and look into setting up some claw trains again. Let's see. I think something like that right there will do us. We get our claw train running right here, and then out the window, right here, out the window. And then you come in and cross right there, like that. Okay, and we'll unload right there. We'll load here, here, and here. And let's see, we are going to want to pull from these evenly, so we do want to do our offsets. And then just add as many claw trains as will fit on there. Does that make sense? Does to me, at least initially. And we could make these crate makers outside. We could have done it that way, but the advantage I see to making them inside and going through the window is that we can just do that right there, and we don't have to worry about any other logistics. It'll just suck out of that tank. All right, so how do we feel about this? I feel okay. I think. Let's see. Yeah, those guys are just going to spin around, and they will pick them up every now and then. You are going the other way. Let's reverse that. Because if it's going that way, it's not using our pickup drop-off offsets. It's not pulling evenly. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it looks like it moves those up in sets of 5. So it waits for 5 to be in here, and then it ships those up top. Okay, and it actually looks like that's running a little slower. I think I'm going to remove some. Let's try 6. Okay, and this actually looks like it's backing up a little bit, which tells me that we could probably fit in another claw train here, and I think we should definitely do that. Is this power plant going to be in the way? Possibly. No, it's going to be fine. I've been getting kind of careless with placements of things as time has gone by, and just making big factories because why not? Now that money's not so much of a concern. Oh, what's happening here? Ah, we're launching a rocket. And boy, is that loud. All right. That was kind of cool. Okay, so, yeah, that's going to continue to load? Yes? All right, that's gonna work out fine. Okay, let's see if we can't make this go a little bit faster. We want you going the other way. Oh, and look at that, the rocket's coming back. Lots of Elon Musk stuff happening in this series. Okay. All right, you guys are keeping up with that fine. All right, and it actually looks like there's enough in the pad to launch the rocket, so it's just going to be the load time of the rocket. Fantastic. That's working out great. How are we doing here? Numbers starting to go down. Not particularly thrilled with that. Let's go ahead and set up another one. Let's see, what's that going to be? We're going to have 2, and that's going to have to go right there. Right there. Is that going to be enough room? I think so. A couple of windows. A couple more windows. Some unload stations. There we go. Let's see, you're going out there. And you're coming in here, like that. All right. And then we're going to need a couple loaders coming in like that. Another rocket. That's going to go that way. That is going to go that way. And I think that is it. Other than our stations. Let's make this one run the other way, since that's the way the trains seem to want to run. Who am I to question them? Okay, that. And hopefully we'll have enough to feed that. It looks like we will. All right, another thing, I didn't see what the money was on that. We'll have to pay attention to that for the next rocket. All right, that should put us in good shape. Okay, there goes our rocket. We'll just take a look and see what that looks like. We are currently at 20,000 a month. Very nice. That should pop up green over here. $15,000? 128. That's what I'm gonna go with for that. All right, that's good. All right, and the pad is almost completely full, so we'll get our rocket out just as quickly as possible. We are starting to look a little light here, but we do have a little bit of surplus over here, so that might be a good time to set up some more of these. Go ahead and throw a couple more in there. Oh, I didn't leave enough room, did I? Is that gonna fit? I don't... Yeah, it'll fit. It'll fit just fine. What are you worried about? Like it was meant to go there. Okay, that took care of that surplus. It's going down pretty quick. I didn't water these mines. That's something we could do to help things out, but right now, I'm happy. All right, we should have a blast off here very soon. And should have another blast off here very soon. Very nice. All right, so that gets us up to 22.7, 23.8, 24, 25. Okay, that bumped it up a bit. How are we doing on trains here? We've got a steel train, chicken soup train, and a tomato soup train here. That'll help. And component-wise, or capacitor-wise, it looks like we've recently had trains. Oh no, we've got one coming right now. It only unloaded one car. All right, and that's probably because we've just been boxing them up over here. If I wanted to get more serious with the trains, we could probably stop that. It's one of those things when I turn this off, these two stations back up, but when I turn it on, these two stations are basically empty. Oh, we managed to salvage a couple more carts out of it. That's good. Didn't want to just completely waste a train going by. All right. How we doing on ethanol? Okay, that's starting to come down a little bit, which is more like what I wanted to see. We've got a backup of grain. I don't think I care about that. Chicken soup. It's not bad. We do have a backup of gold here, quite significantly. Did we set this ever? Oh! Hey, look at that right there. We won. Fantastic. 3,000 kilograms. Continue playing to earn a Master Extractor's Medallion or return to the scenario selection screen. We'll continue playing. And what was it? It just stopped at $30,000 out of 30,000 kilograms. Great. And let's see, what's the next one? Okay, so we're at 33 out of 45. I don't think that would be too hard to get. With just some minor optimizations, and I have not optimized this factory at all. I kind of lost interest with that. If it wasn't apparent, I just kind of wanted to build the things. It's for two reasons, right? One reason, whenever we went from the drones to the claw trains for truck loading, that was a significant change in the factory and the way that we did things. So I basically ended up tearing down the factory and rebuilding it. And ever since then, I was kind of like waiting for the next thing that was going to cause that to happen. And it just never occurred. I thought the trains were going to do it, and we managed to have an open area here that was basically open, and we could just run rails to it. Granted, that wasn't probably the most efficient way to do it, but I mean, it's effective. It ended up working. And then I kept waiting for the next thing that was going to really change the way we do stuff. And trains didn't do it. Oil, it's just kind of more of the same. And yeah, no, nothing. Farming, I mean, okay. Yeah, we farmed. But it's all just a matter of you produce a thing, you refine the thing, you can mine the thing, and then you're done. Once we got through the combiner and the connectors, the game just kind of the production stuff just kind of felt flat. Yeah. All right, and speaking of falling flat, this has fallen flat. Yeah, so technically, I guess we didn't get a stable 30,000 a 3-month coming out. It was more kind of like with the trains. It was more of a timing thing than anything else. But hey, you know, that's what the game wanted. That's what the game got. As far as the game itself, I don't know. I've really kind of reserved holding and giving like a lot of opinions on it. I said in the first episode, you know, I didn't want to make comparisons to the other games, and I kind of wanted to show rather than tell. And I hope that I've done that. I kind of feel like I have. Not only the game, but also just kind of me playing it. I felt like I was giddy and excited in the first couple of episodes, learning new systems and you know, figuring out these things. It was fun. I was really enjoying it and playing with the builds and the setups of the craters and and basically these setups, the refining setups. And then it just kind of there wasn't a challenge like that. It kind of just got easier. So you know, some games they get more complex and give you more complex problems to solve as you progress. And I feel like this one, the things that you unlock make it easier. I mean, trains make it a lot easier than claw trains. Trains are a significant ease of doing things over the claw trains. Right? Argue that the claw trains are more complex than the drones. The trains are much easier. You just load up a silo. And even if I didn't use this, which could be considered an exploit, I guess, but you know, it's the way the trains work. But even if you don't do that and you filled up all of these, I don't know another way to do it. There might be another way to do it. Someone was suggesting in the comments that to space these so that more than one load at the same time. I don't think that happens. I've never seen it happen, at least in my initial testing. I don't know that that has changed, but if we were to distribute these where they look like they lined up with the cars, what would happen is this one down here would fill up first. The train would stop right here so that this one filled up. It's not like it pulls through and then just unloads them all at the same time. It's a one at a time operation. So that's why I only have one full, because that's the only one that's being used. But yeah, not really much of a complexity challenger. If anything else, this simplified things greatly. And the rocket, I mean, yeah. I mean, we're out of stuff, but other than that, I think we could probably turn one of these off. And just go off of one for a while, I believe. Ooh, that's loud. Water, yeah, to increase production, that was good, I guess. We got to pipe some things, but yeah, not really such a much. The greenhouse upgrade, I threw a couple on there, but that wasn't needed. The grains, there's just the only reason these things exist is to unlock the science, right? Once you unlock the science, there's really not much to do with them. Just because they don't weigh a whole lot, and this game's all about weight and money. They don't weigh a lot. They don't cost a lot. So why bother? Just make capacitors. Just make capacitors. And I mean, there's some little things here and there, little optimizations that you can make to make things running, but I don't know. It just kind of feels like the game kind of peters out mid-game. And I think that was probably reflected in my playthrough. I feel like it was as a viewer. I'm not sure if you kind of got that too. You can kind of see the point where I'm just like, oh, I got to build another one of these. But I don't know. I like the game. I like it. It was fun. It was an interesting new challenge to play. I don't know that I may pick it up again after a little bit of time. I'd like to see what comes from it after a few months of development. I think maybe a little bit of an early access period would have benefited this game greatly, just to get some kind of feedback and get an overall impression back to the developers on how the game is to play. But that didn't happen, so no sense in talking about it. This game is not a Factorio game at all. There's some aspects of it that kind of tickle the same parts of the mind, but I don't think the comparison is fair. And I think I stated that in the very first episode, that I didn't want to make the comparisons because I don't know. It just, it's not the same game. It's not the same game, and I mean, it doesn't need to be the same game, right? But I think it could definitely use with a couple of more months of development, and I'm excited to see what happens. But right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the series here. We met the goal. We launched some rockets. That sounds like a final episode to me. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the patience, the comments, the suggestions. All of those are greatly appreciated. I'm not the best at responding to comments, but I do read them all. Yeah, thank you very much. And I will see you in the next series. Thank you, and have a good one. I kind of like this bridge, though. This bridge always just worked for me. I don't know why. Oh, except for where it's broken.